Eric, how he's doing, and then just talk about the performance of the team and Nicosi in particular coming in really a tough situation where you guys were pretty much reeling and not looking very good that first quarter.
Yeah, in terms of Diaz, we'll evaluate him tomorrow and no more. That's really all we can say at this point. It's all we know at this point. In terms of the team, number one, first of all, I want to say congratulations to Mike Gundy and Oklahoma State. That was obviously an outstanding ball game, highly competitive. At no point did I think that we would lose that game. And I don't think our team did either until it hit triple zeros. The way we battled, the way we fought, the way we played for each other was inspiring. However, we just made too many mistakes to win a football game. There were some red zone issues that got us. A 2-point conversion that was and then it wasn't. In a game when you lose by 3, a touchdown that was and then wasn't. Some of those things that took points off the scoreboard for us, and we ended up not being good enough to overcome. But we continued to fight, and the team rallied behind Nicosi. Didn't flinch, and I'm proud for Nicosi the way he went in there and played hard. And so many guys that played well, but ultimately, like I said, too many mistakes to beat a good Oklahoma State team.
Good morning. You just heard part of Manny Diaz's post-game press conference after last night's 37-34 loss to Oklahoma State. Too many mistakes. That's what he said. You cannot turn the ball over like we did and make mental mistakes and expect to beat a good team like Oklahoma State. I want to give you my thoughts on last night's game. When I saw that first quarter, 21-0, Oklahoma State, you felt, this is Carolina all over again. That's what it was looking like early. But I'll tell you, this team did not quit. And losing Derek King in the second quarter there to a meniscus injury, most likely, because we won't know that until he gets evaluated today back at Coral Gables. Colsey did a very good job last night for us. I really felt he revitalized his career last night, even in the loss. But let's go back to the mistakes. Bottom line is you just cannot make the mistakes we made last night and expect to beat a good team like Oklahoma State. Now, while we had 512 yards total offense last night, what we got killed was in the passing game. The penalties, we committed 8 for 76. Some a little questionable than others. Oklahoma State ran 83 plays to our 78. You look at the rushing yards. Oklahoma State had 113 yards, but 305 in the air. 4 touchdowns. I felt to win this ball game, we had to get the chain out twice minimum. And the chain did not come out at all last night. Sanders last night, what can you say? Sanders, 27 of 40 for them, 305, 4 TDs, no interceptions. Problem was on special teams, we lost the possession there late in the first half. Mike's fumble turned out to be harmless in regards of not allowing points, but harmful in the fact that it allowed Oklahoma State to get an extra possession and we lose a possession. That would turn out to loom large later. And we did fight back, but at the end of the day, you just can't make mistakes and expect to beat a good team like Oklahoma State is. The 2-point conversion they called back, I felt it was a little questionable there. But overall, I mean, I looked at it, and I think they missed that call, in my opinion. But, yeah, you can't cry over that. Yeah, we give up the field goal, but off the fumble, we only allowed 3. But time of possession was a thing that really, really hurt us, especially in big moments. Oklahoma State had the ball for almost 34 minutes last night. Just a tick under 34 minutes. I mean, you cannot allow 29 first downs and expect to win. There's no way. And on third down, I look at third down conversions. Oklahoma State was killing us in that regard last night. I mean, in the big moments, Oklahoma State came up large. We didn't. That's what in the end, it boiled down to at the end. When you look at what we didn't do, I felt we made, again, Manny said it in the presser, we made too many mistakes. I look at this ball game, and to be honest, I really felt it was a game we could have won. In fact, we should have won last night. The dropsies showed up at an inopportune time. Their first 3 offensive possessions, our defense couldn't get the job done. They were up 21-0. It could have been disaster, but didn't. But at 21-7 in the second, we lose Derek, like I said earlier. But even with Derek out, Cozy got us back in the ball game. And with 3:14 left, we had the ball down 3, but we couldn't make the big plays. I mean, their linebacker Rodriguez brings down MR3 on a 4th and 10, I believe, and we couldn't get the big play when we needed it. They made the plays down the stretch, and we didn't. We allowed Presley, their receiver, to go for 118 on 6 catches. He set bowl records last night. They passed the ball 14 of the first 15 plays. And we couldn't adjust to that because we were thinking they were going to run the football. They did on the 16th snap. But when you look at what their quarterback Sanders did, like I said, he was their game MVP. And he also ran for 45. But the guy that really hurt us on defense for them was Sterling. He had 13 tackles, 2.5 for losses, but some at big moments too. They broke up 10 of our passes last night. Okay. And this, again, they were without Chuba. They were without Rodarius Williams for them and their offensive tackle Jenkins. But they got back, like I said, their running back Brown and their left guard Birmingham. Well, they had Wallace. We did a good job on, for the most part, 6 for 45, but he didn't play in the second half at all. The guy that hurt us was Martin, 6 for 73. And I know we just did not step up in big moments. That's just the bottom line. We did not step up in the big moments, and they did. They got the win because of it. And I really felt, when you look at the numbers last night, I mean, on third downs, they were 6 for 15. We were 4 for 14. When you look at it, I mean, the key number that really stuck out at me last night was they did not turn the ball over. Oklahoma State did. We did twice. And I felt that was the difference. We turned it over twice. You just can't win that way. You can't beat good teams when you turn the ball over like we did. And we did it twice last night. I mean, the chain, I felt like I said, the chain had to come out twice minimum last night for us to win. And I felt on the first series, we almost got the pick from Corey and let it go right through his hands. Oklahoma State would ultimately make us pay for that miss. I mean, they had, like I said, they had 113 yards rushing last night. We had 156. But again, drops were a problem. Drops were a big problem. Cozy loses a fumble, and Mike, like I said, in the first half, muffs a punt. But yeah, -2, and against a good team, you gotta be in the plus column to have any shot to win. And we were not in the plus column. We were in the minus column again against a good team in turnover margin. Time for the report card, guys. Report card. Offense, for the most part, I'm gonna give a B. Most part, I'm gonna do that. I don't get it higher because a couple things. The drops were a killer, especially in big moments. The running game was effective for the most part. Passing game was pretty good. The O-line almost had allowed just one sack. That was it. But it had for the most part, a clean game. Defense. Oh, defense. I'm going to give you a C-. You allowed 305 yards passing, 118 to Presley alone, and 3 touchdowns. You allowed Sanders, their quarterback, 27 to 40, 305 yards, 4 touchdowns. Although you did sack him twice, you couldn't get a turnover. You couldn't get the chain out last night. That's my take on that. So my take on that is you get a C- there. Special teams. Special teams, I'm going to give you an A. 1 punt inside the 20. Jose 2 for 2 on field goals. But I don't give you plus because of the muff punt by Mike Harley. So that's how I'm going to give you that. Well, I'm going to come back, probably drop another pod later today or tomorrow with the final report card for the season. See where we go from here. There's going to be a lot of decisions made, and I'll talk about that at another pod and see where the future is going forward. So, tough loss, win or lose, go Canes.